yourself settle. Feel the weight of your body wherever you're resting right now. The gentle press of a pillow beneath your head, the warmth pooling under a blanket. Let your jaw soften. Let your shoulders fall just a little further than they were a moment ago. There is nowhere you need to be, nothing waiting for your attention. This space, this sound is yours entirely. When you're ready, simply close your eyes and let me bring you somewhere beautiful. The door opens without a sound, and the first thing that meets you is light, not harsh, not demanding, but the kind of light that arrives through a large, white-framed sash window, as if it has been traveling all morning just to reach this place. It filters through in long, unhurried columns, catching dust motes and turning them into tiny floating stars. The light here doesn't illuminate so much as it breathes. The walls are white, but not the cold white of a hospital or an empty gallery. This is the white of fresh cream, of a letter written on good paper, of the inside of a flower petal. It holds warmth without trying, and against this softness, everything in the room seems to glow from within, as though the whole space has been brushed lightly with the first hour of a spring morning. Your eyes are drawn slowly to the bed. It sits in the center of the room with a quiet authority, a queen-sized bed dressed in white floral bedding, so layered and textured that it seems to have grown there organically, like something found rather than made. The headboard rises behind it in upholstered gray linen, the color of river stones worn smooth by decades of current. It is the shade of something solid and restful, anchoring all that softness around it. The pillows are stacked in abundance, pink ones and cream ones, textured ones with raised stitching you can almost feel from here, smaller ones nestled against larger ones, each slightly different, as though collected over years of quiet mornings and slow Sundays. There is no rigidity to their arrangement. They lean into each other like old friends who have learned to be comfortable in silence. And across the foot of the bed, draped as though it had been casually pulled up in the night and never quite put away, lies the blanket. It is hand-knitted from pale pink merino wool, chunky and oversized, each stitch thick as a thumb. You can almost feel its weight without touching it, the kind of weight that presses down in the most tender way, that tells your body it is safe to stop holding itself up. Above the headboard, 5 gold-framed botanical prints sit on the wall the way things sit when they have been loved into their position. The frames are brushed brass, matte and warm, not reflective. Inside each frame, watercolor petals so softly rendered they seem almost weightless. A hydrangea head in cool lavender pink, its florets painted with the lightness that only a very wet brush can leave behind. Eucalyptus in gray green, dusty and clean, the way the real leaf feels slightly chalky between your fingers. A smaller illustration, more faded, more found than bought. Together they make a garden glass vase, their stems in water, you can almost feel the coolness of each floret tilting open at its own slow pace, as if making a private and unhurried decision. The brass wall sconce above bends gently over them, its shade angled just enough for the hour before sleep. On the right side of the bed, from above, hangs a rattan pendant light, suspended on a long cord of natural fiber. Its weave is open and generous. Light passes through the gaps and lands on the floor in shifting, dappled patterns, like light through leaves. The lampshade is the color of warm sand, of dried grass, of something pulled from the earth and left in the sun for a summer. It turns slowly, almost imperceptibly, in some breath of air. It is the kind of object that asks nothing of the room and gives everything. Texture, warmth, a suggestion of the natural world held gently indoors. And beneath the rattan light, there is the window, the large, white-framed sash window that is, in many ways, the heart of this room. It faces the world with quiet generosity, inviting in everything light, air, the distant sound of something bird-song adjacent. The frame is painted in a clean, thick white, and the glass is simple and unadorned. There are no heavy curtains to block the view, only light pouring in freely. On the windowsill, there is life in abundance. Potted plants crowd together in the easy, unhurried way of a well-tended garden corner. Trailing green things, upright leafy things, things you couldn't name but which feel right, which feel like they belong somewhere cool and bright and love. Among them, glass vases of varying heights hold pink flower arrangements. Garden roses half open, stems of sweet peas in the lightest mauve pink, and blossoms so full they bow their heads gently under their own weight. The water in the vases catches the window light and scatters it in tiny, shifting prisms across the sill. The floor beneath your feet is wide plank hardwood in a pale, warm tone. The boards are smooth and clean, carrying the faint luster of something well kept over years. Running across them is a cotton rug, woven in simple rows, white and soft pink threads laid line by line, one after the other. No pattern that asks to be looked at, just the quiet rhythm of thread following thread. It is soft underfoot, with a slight cool gift to it, the kind of surface that feels clean and gentle against bare skin. In front of the bed sits a rattan blanket box, low and rectangular, its weave tight and orderly, the color of dried grass in late summer. A place to keep things, blankets folded away, small things held safely inside. On top of it, a wooden light oak round tray, and on the tray a single candle, cream and slender, held upright in a silver holder. The day has softened into evening, and the quiet flame of the candle has taken over. It leans very slightly, as though listening. The light pulls the color from everything it touches and deepens it. The walls go amber. The white bedding turns the color of warm skin. The rattan catches the light along every woven edge. Rest now in the texture of this room, in all these materials that began somewhere natural and found their way here together. Everything here was once something else. The wool was once on a sheep on a hillside. The rattan grew in a tropical forest in Southeast Asia. The oak stood in a wood somewhere for decades before becoming this small, beautiful piece of furniture. You are standing at the center of all this softness. You have been standing long enough. It is time now to let yourself sink into it. The mattress receives your weight gradually, generously, without resistance. The pillow shapes itself to the curve of your head. The duvet settles over you like something that has been waiting. You pull the knitted throw up along one side, and its gentle weight along your arm is the last thing you notice before your breathing begins slowly to deepen. This room is not going anywhere. Neither are you. Let the colors hold you now, blush and cream and ivory and white, layer upon layer, soft upon soft. Let them be the last things your mind traces before it releases the day entirely. There is no more to see. There is nothing left to. Only this room, breathing around you. Only this softness, patience,